listening to Mondays with Dalton Pitts on the Big X Sports Radio.
Welcome in. Good afternoon. It's the Ticket Punchers here on 96.1 FM, 1450 AM, Big X Sports Radio. I'm your host, Roman Kelly, joined today by my co-host here, J.R. Anderson. Missing our other co-host, Curtis Phillips, a.k.a. Philly Picks, as he is out today. But we do have J.R. and myself, as we'll be taking you down until 6 o'clock, as we do per usual here on the Big X. It's been a while. Long time since the last Ticket Punchers show. I believe it was the, 19th was the last time we were on. JR, it's been a minute. How are you today, sir?
I'm good, Rome. Good to be back, brother. Missed you guys.
Yes, missed you as well. It's been too long, too many days without a show, but we're back now. It's time to get those plays out. It's time to get some discussion on these picks, and let's go punch those tickets. It's an exciting day because there's a lot to discuss due to how much we've missed out on and how much we have to look forward to here this week and just ahead in the realm of sports and betting. Before we do that, though, I want to let the listeners know we want your all's comments, we want your all's thoughts, and we want your all's concerns, questions, whatever it may be, on the Game Day Men's Health text line at 502-414-1450. Got the Game Day Men's Health shirt on right now, rocking it. Game Day Men's Health is redefining men's wellness. No shortcuts, just results. Testosterone, peptides, weight loss, and sexual performance therapy. Visit GameDayMen'sHealth.com, defining a new era in men's health. JR, it's been too long, my man, and there are some things that I want to discuss. We don't have Philly today. We will have his picks, we will have his punches, and we will have, of course, his triple punch piece, as we will be getting the triple punch parlay sent out back up and running here today. I want to ask, in the time we've been off, December 19th was the last show we had, or maybe it was the 22nd. The 22nd was a Monday, so December 19th was the last show we did have. And there's been a lot of things happening since then and pretty much every realm of sports. I kind of just want to give the listeners a bit of an update of where our heads are at, how we're feeling about a couple leagues and how things are set to turn out. We'll kind of just start with college football because that's been the most excitement, I feel like, for the most part, due to its season coming to a close, technically with the college football playoff being underway now and it being in the end phase of the college football season outside of those games. I want to ask you what you're excited about, if there was anything that surprised you, if there was any bowl game activities you were doing while you were watching. I know Louisville had our bowl game. We did get the victory. I wanted to get your opinions on that as well because we saw Miller Moss. We didn't see a Deuce Adams, and we've now got some news today about some college football things on the Louisville side. But I want to see where your head's at centered around this college football playoff. We've got Alabama and Tennessee playing. We've got some other games. What are you looking forward to most in the college football playoff, JR? What teams are you ready to try to make some money on?
Yeah, we've made money all season long on Bama, BYU. Hadn't really, dabbled with Indiana too much, but I would say the two teams that I'm focused on, which, I think will inevitably be the national champion, will be either Indiana or Ohio State. And here lately, man, call me crazy, but, as much flack as Ohio State has been receiving, my gut is telling me Ohio might get them, man. I know a lot of people don't want to hear that, but my gut's been right here lately when it comes to these things. And, I kind of want to take Ohio to repeat. But if they don't, then, I think Indiana's definitely the favorite. But, I do think Indiana is due for a loss, man.
I'm kind of leaning the same direction with you, JR. I think that they got to see each other already once this season, which is huge for teams that are contenders in college football. You already kind of know what you like to do. You know what you did wrong in that first matchup. In terms of a betting side, something in me can't really lean the direction of Indiana having not been here, right? Having not been the team that's experienced in this situation, nor having really had the coach experience in this situation. But I ultimately do lean Ohio State. Ohio State will be in action against Miami tomorrow at 7:30. I expect them to get a victory in that game and then go on to play
Yeah,
the
I saw.
winner. Go ahead.
I did see a lot of people taking Miami in that game. Call me crazy, but if you're taking Miami, I think you're crazy.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe to cover.
Ohio is a much better team, but to take them outright, I think that's crazy. Yes, I would definitely take a cover or a decent plus money play.
I would definitely look into a cover just because that line is big, sitting at 9.5, and you've got that NFL talent out on the Miami side on both lines, the offensive and defensive, and then on the skill position players as well, right? You've got some playmakers on the offensive side with your running back room, and then, of course, Tony out there as the best freshman receiver in college football this season. But that Ohio State defense is just a different breed. Ultimately, at the end of the day, with how clunky that Miami offense has looked in certain times this year, I expect Ohio State to take advantage of the mishaps Miami will likely go on to have in that game just because they've been prone to them all year long. So I don't think Ohio State should have any trouble getting out of that one. We've made a lot of money on Alabama this year, right? Some of the heavier betting we did was on Alabama, right, when they were on those smaller, short lines, being 2.5-point favorites, being underdogs on the road. The spread for Alabama this season when they were underdogs or on the road was nice. It worked out for us, JR, and we've got another big line here in a college football playoff matchup, but not big like the other ones. This one is a 7-point line with Alabama and Indiana. On Thursday at 4 p.m., I mean, everyone's saying Indiana. Everybody's leaning Indiana. I think Indiana's going to win this game, but something tells me Alabama's defense can keep them under control. And if Alabama's offense can get some points on the board, it should be able to be a good football game that stays ultimately in that one touchdown kind of a region. I think Alabama could have a late cover in this one, potentially, if they can get a few stops. That's one I'll be excited to see, but I haven't seen a lot of people on the Alabama +7. I wanted to see where you were at, JR, as someone who's been heavy on Alabama all year long.
Yeah, I think Alabama can definitely win this game, if not definitely cover. I think it's all going to come down to those first two quarters, man. Those first two quarters are going to be imperative for them to slow the game down. Don't let Indiana get out fast, get up 14 points to zip, by the second quarter. Don't throw any pick sixes like, we've seen Indiana capitalize on a lot here lately. You just got to manage their defense more so than their offense. I do think Alabama can keep up with a high caliber scoring offense. Alabama's offense versus that Indiana defense. The ball, convert on first downs, and Indiana feasts on turnovers. And so if you cannot throw interceptions, don't fumble, don't do anything silly to jeopardize or allow them to turn their defense into a scoring defense, then you'll be all right. And it'll come down to a battle of the offenses. But I definitely like Alabama to cover. I think more so around like 9 to 10, which might put us, outside of most people's, favorite odd zone.
Yeah.
200. I don't know if you can look that up. I'm just muting at the moment. But it's probably north of 150. But, I'd say if Alabama loses, it'll be between that demolished in the first half. But, yeah, in these type of atmospheres, the one thing that I do know about championship blood is that the game slows down, and
yes,
it becomes very competitive.
You can get Alabama right now.
Won't lay down.
You can get Alabama right now at +10.5 at -170. Alabama right now, you can catch them at +10.5 on the alternate spread at -172, +9.5 at -142. So there's good juice there if you do think that Alabama is going to lose, but potentially could keep it close.
Yeah, I love the 9.5. I think it'll be a heavy run game to start out. Like I said, it'll all come down to turnovers, man. I do think Alabama's defense is formidable. They can cause some havoc. It's just, a matter of if they wake up that day, and then also coaching, it's going to come down to coaching, how well Alabama can, dial up some good teams. I've been, 3 weeks, 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks of preparation.
Yep. Yeah, a little over 10 days, yeah. They'll have plenty of time. They should know exactly what they want to do out there. We should be seeing good football regardless.
Yeah.
I think we lost you for a second there on the cutout, but we got you back now. We do have a comment in the chat here. It says, interested to see how the teams on bye play. Having a month off from football is insane. Bye teams went 0-4 last season. They did go 0-4 last season. I'll be interested to see what they look like as well. That was the talk of the playoff last year. JR, do you think you will see something similar with the bye teams this year?
I think with the matchups, I don't think so. I think if anything, it'll split like a 2-2, but it definitely won't go 0-4. You know, I think the teams with byes are too high-powered to, you know, go 0-4. I mean, if it does happen, then,
I'm kind of with you on that one. It'd be a surprise.
Highly doubt it.
I do think, though, that you'll see a slow kind of form of play in the beginning of those games with the bye teams, just because a month off, you got to get it back, right? You're going to have a little bit of rust to knock off, but I think that we won't see 0-4 again. I don't think that happens. Lazard guy, though, we appreciate that comment. Any text you guys have on the Game Day Men's Health text line, please send those in as well. Texter says, RIP Jeffersonville Cluckers. Rest now, brother. We will see you in Valhalla. Yep, the Jeffersonville Cluckers went down in flames, it sounded like. Had some issues with the kitchen. Luckily, it didn't seem like anybody was hurt, but going to have some rebuilding to do there. And a lot of people who are going to have to go find work, it sounds like, which is just always unfortunate and sad there, but glad to hear that no one was seriously injured. JR, we've got some games on right now. Tennessee and Illinois just kicked off in the Music City Bowl. I had the Big X big bet of Tennessee money line earlier today. I do think Tennessee wins this one. I like Tennessee in this game, if I'm just being honest. Straight up, I do think they cover as well in the 2.5. I wanted to ask if you were on anything today in particular on the college football, just because we've got these two matchups. I'm also on USC tonight, straight up to get the W as well over TCU, who's going to have some a lot of backups in. I mean, both teams are not going to have everybody in this game, but I expect overall USC to have enough of their guys retained to go and get the job done in this game. They are 4.5-point favorites now over TCU. TCU has the quarterback, Jake Hoover, who Louisville is currently in the I won't say runnings because the portal hasn't opened up yet, but a potential name that Louisville is going to be after when the portal does open up on the 2nd. He will not be playing. It's the backup, the hometown kid for a TCU team, which kind of does give a little bit of a weird story. That vibe is always interesting. The kid that has the ties to the team, been there a while, the interesting story around him if he goes out and has a good start to the game, but still I think USC has the dudes on the defensive side to get the job done. I like USC on the -5.5 to get the win in that game. I wanted to see where you were at in this one, though, JR, as we do have a 9 p.m. tip-off there, number 16 USC going up against TCU. If you had any action on that one.
You know, I always struggle when starting quarterbacks or any major changes happen to the offensive side of the ball. I haven't gotten a good chance to watch as much tape of the backup, but I also don't know if there's much of it. But I was definitely loving USC to cover the spread.
Yeah, I'm on USC. We're going to go ahead and pull them and make that an official punch for us here today right now. If you want on my side of things, I'm going to take USC money. I'm taking USC on the 4.5 since the line dropped. We'll go ahead and take Tennessee on the money line straight up. There's some boost rocking around out there right now if you guys are interested. So I like the under as well in this Tennessee-Illinois game. I think that they're going to go back and forth a little bit before there's a lot of points being scored. So that's just a couple college football plays right now for us here live on the Ticket Punchers show here on the Big X. JR, we've got some NBA action tonight. Not anything too crazy. Not a lot of games, but we've got a big matchup. Our Lakers in action, underdogs at home against the Pistons. And only 2.5-point favorites. Luka and LeBron at the moment currently should be playing in this game. Cade Cunningham and Jalen Duren also should be playing in this game. So the main key guys outside of Austin Reeves going to be in action tonight. How you feel about our Lakers being underdogs tonight?
I love it. You know, they need it. They need to definitely build upon the win in the last game. And I would say the key for success is this, and this is something that, a lot of people won't disagree with. We have to get Braun going early, just like they did last game. And when he's involved early, they look like a totally different team. Everybody's engaged. But when Luka plays his normal Luka style of basketball, and he dominates the first quarter with 20 points and 12 shots, whatever it may be, and LeBron sitting in the corner pouting, as we know Bron do, it takes him completely out of the game. And then that's the tone defensively and offensively that you're going to get the rest of the game. As long as we get 23 involved early and often, and then allow him to be Braun and, at least dribble the ball at least just a tad bit, I think we'll be all right. I do love the underdog, but, I think this will be a very
yes, still out. He'll be out a couple of weeks with a calf injury is what they're saying he's got. It was an interesting way that they put it, but no Reeves tonight.
I expected us to be underdogs in this. I mean, we haven't been the greatest defensive team, but the Pistons are also a very good defensive team, and I don't think we have much of anybody that can slow down Cade. So we'll see how the night goes.
We will. It'll be interesting. I expect us to stay close in this game, but if we get into one of those situations where they get off to that 12-point lead and they've got momentum, we don't fight back enough defensively for my liking in those kinds of situations. You've got to get a hot start on your home floor in these kinds of games. No ifs, ands, or buts about it, in my opinion. But we'll have some official punches. Go ahead, JR.
I was going to say, I would definitely take Lakers on the spread, since, you get the home court advantage. All it takes is for Luka to have one of those nights, or Braun. I think we'll be all right. Coming off of the win, I do think we're due to, hit a back-to-back, a couple games in a row streak here, and this would be a really good win versus the Pistons, as long as the two stars get going, and then we have some similar bench production like we had last game. But I do like Lakers to cover the 2.5.
I do as well. I like LeBron to bounce back in a game against some, upcoming star like Cade Cunningham. He typically likes to respond against the big teams. So on his home floor, he's going to be getting his shots up as well. I like Braun to not necessarily have a big night, but a productive night as well in this one. You need it. If you want to win any games going forward with the way that we defend lately. JR, I want to get into some official punches for the day because we've got so much on tonight with the college basketball slate, NBA slate, and then, of course, the couple of college football games, one on now, one starting later on tonight. We've also got Louisville in action, and we need a triple punch piece from you. We've got Curtis's, and I'll have mine here in just a second, but I want to ask about the Cards. Just give me a vibe update, how you're feeling. I know I'm feeling pretty good. I'm glad to see that Michael Brown Jr. is back in action for us. I don't necessarily like to see that he's probable, but that should mean that he's playing. No case in prior, which is unfortunate in a game where there is going to be some size on the opposition. This has been tough, though, because we're traveling to Cal. Granted, we got there in time, which we didn't do last year in the football season. We know we got there the day before, and everybody was tired. Nobody was preparing. We went on to lose and ruin any hope for that season being a successful one like we thought it was going to be. We got there. Pat Kelsey didn't make the same mistake that Jeff Brom made. He got these guys out there with enough time to adjust. This is a 2-game road trip where we will be playing Stanford on Friday. Last season, out of every ACC team that had to go and play both Cal and Stanford on the road, only one team won both games, and that was Duke, obviously. Nobody went out to the two California schools from the ACC and swept them both. And, we didn't have to worry about that. They came and played us. But we will have them both on 2 road games now. And you can't necessarily expect us to dominate these two teams, especially with Cal being a team that's currently sitting in a good spot in all of its rankings. Granted, a lot of that is centered around them having played basically nobody, if I'm being honest. They did, they beat a UCLA team. They have had a couple of good teams they've played, but mostly pushover type of opponents where you expected them to dominate. JR, are you feeling good about the Cards tonight? 8.5-point favorites on the road against Cal with Michael Brown back?
Yeah, Cal's 12-1, but different caliber of leagues in my opinion. With Michael playing, I'm comfortable without him playing if for whatever reason he's not, since we know that he gets ruled out at the very last second on game days. But if he is playing, then I love us to definitely, cover game and the next game as well. He is our engine, man. You know, if anything, the last couple games has opened our eyes that when he's not out there, it shows why he should definitely be a top 5 prospect. He is our engine. And if he's not out there, then we struggle. You know, our guard play needs to get a lot better. And we also need to get much better bench production from Pryor and others. You know, last couple of games been very disappointed in just overall offensive schematics and, you know, just knowing our opponents and being able to score on our opponents. You know, our shooting hasn't been there because Michael hasn't been there to create, you know, shots or create spacing. And it's been, you know, mostly just get to the rim. But looking for a bounce back tonight with him in the lineup and for us to cover this game and the next 2 wins in a row. Go Cards.
So you got Louisville winning tonight, and you think they cover the 8.5 tonight?
Yes, absolutely. With
Love
Michael,
that.
if he gets ruled out, then my sentiments will change.
Yeah, but I'm with you there a little bit. I don't have us covering. I've got us winning in that 87-82 kind of a range. You know, not late narrow cover for the Cal Golden Bears in that one. But I still think we do get the victory. I do think Ryan Conwell is kind of the player of the game in terms of the scoring department, but I do see Michael bouncing back and having one of those good all-around performances where he's getting a couple steals, he's getting 4 or 5 assists, getting his teammates involved. All of his shots are good shot selection type of shots, and he's getting downhill above all else to create all of that and open all of those other things up within the game. So I like the Cards tonight as well, but I don't know if we're going to cover. I like your confidence, though. I hope we do get to that 9-point mark, though, because we need a big road win.
Yeah. You know me. I love, you know, the lines that Vegas originally sets just because, you know, their computers are much better than ours. When I was researching it, I did have a small thought to water it down to like an even number, take the hook out of it, maybe go 6.5, 7, just to be safe. So I feel like I'm right there with you around the scoring. You know, I definitely love the over. The last time I looked, I thought it was like 163, 164, somewhere around there.
Down to 161.5.
Yeah, so I definitely love them over 160 even. I believe the last time I looked at that, it was minus like 128, 125 as a total scoring for both teams over 160. But yeah, love an alt spread down if the odds are good for you.
Yep, I'm on the over as well. The line did open up at 5.5. It is now sitting at 8.5. I was saying 9.5, I think, or 9. I'm kind of there though. I'm on that more 5.5 kind of a range for this one. So that's kind of a little bit of a Cards talk for tonight, as we will be back in action for the first time in a while here tonight at 9 p.m. on the ACC Network. But I do want to give a couple of picks out. Not ours. These are from our boy, though. Philly picks, Mr. Curtis Phillips. He did send his 2 plays in for tonight. Here are they for tonight. He's got college basketball and he's got an NBA prop. In college basketball, he likes Seton Hall minus 1.5 on their spread against Marquette. Marquette, they're on the road visiting Marquette. Seton Hall is simply the better team here. Off to a hot 11-2 start and 8-1 as favorites. They are 20th in defensive efficiency, which should cause a Marquette team some fits that already have trouble scoring. Marquette is 0-5 as underdogs and weren't really competitive in either of their Big East games so far this season. Cam Spencer, okay, yeah, so I'm with you on the Seton Hall. I'm with Philly. We're going to be rocking with that pick. I've been fading Marquette all season long, and we've made some money, and we're going to continue to fade Marquette. He also likes Cam Spencer on the over 17.5 points and assist tonight, the combo player prop. In 9 of his last 10 games, Cam Spencer's gone over this. In the December month, 6 straight home games he's gone over as well. KCP and Vince Williams Jr. are out, so you're going to see more minutes for Cam Spencer and more opportunity on the ball for him tonight as well. Those are minus 118 on the Seton Hall and minus 114 on the Cam Spencer prop. I like both of those. Those are the Philly picks punches of the day. JR, I want to go to you next as we don't have a lot of time. Where are you at tonight with your official punches if you've gotten to that point with your dig so far here today? I know you're on the road on your commute. You've been working. You've probably not been able to get down on the computers and do your true dig, but anything you've got officially for tonight?
Yeah, I got a few. All of mine are NBA. I got a couple NBA teams and then just 2 sprinkles on some NBA props as well. First
Let's hear them.
Being we are going Philly money line versus the Grizzlies. I think Philly guard play is just going to be a little bit too much for Memphis overall. And, the only scoring capability lately that they've had is, Spencer, Jaren Jackson. But, with Edgecombe and Maxey, I think they could both definitely be into the 20s. Of course, Maxey will. So love Philly money line. That is minus 106. I love Cam Spencer rebounds. He's 100% in the last 5 and 80% in the last 10 to go over 2.5. He's been hounding some boards. Also love Cedric Coward assists over 2.5. He's 100% in the last 5, and right now that's plus 100. For whatever reason, they don't think that he's going to get assists tonight, but he comes off the bench and he gets it done. I also love Utah spread. It is currently sitting at plus 8.5. They've been formidable. They've been covering spreads. They are going up against Boston. A lot of people won't like me going against Boston, but it's fine. In the last 5, they've only not covered once. So I really love this line overall. And then, of course, our other 2 legs, which was Lakers plus 2.5. And then, me, I can't go against my purple and gold. We're going Lakers money line for the official.
I like that. I like the Lakers money line play. I'm not going against it. I'm not going to bet it either, though. I've been betting the Lakers way too much recently as someone who doesn't like to be betting on his teams. I refuse to bet Louisville. I don't like betting Barcelona at all, but Lakers, I've been not really following suit with that as much as I typically do. I have 2 plays in this one for tonight. My only 2 official punches in the NBA tonight are going to be Jalen Duren 10+ rebounds in this matchup. He's been on the boards crazy as of late. Not covering this in every single game or anything like that, but against teams that aren't or teams that aren't rebounding the ball all too well, he has been pulling the boards down. He did have 14 in his last game. He went on a streak of covering 10+ before he had a bad night against Utah, in which I believe they were getting blown out. He didn't play, or not getting blown out. They were blowing Utah out, and he didn't have as many minutes as he typically would have in that game. But the 10+ boards for him sitting at minus 156 against us, I mean, we haven't been all that strong on the glass as of late. I like Jalen Duren for the 10+ tonight. And then LeBron James, 20+ points in a matchup against the top team in the East, where there's going to be a lot of eyes on this game with it being on NBC and Peacock. He's going to be wanting to display what he can out there and show that he's still got it. Every opportunity he's on his home floor. Been a better player on his home floor this season than on the road. So I like him to get to that 20+ mark at minus 220 here tonight as well. Those are my only 2 official punches in the NBA tonight. Those are paired up with the Tennessee money line in college football today and USC minus 4.5 as well in college football. We also took the live under on Tennessee at minus 50, under 58.5 for that total going up against Illinois as well. But this has been the official punches here on the Ticket Puncher. Stay tuned if you want on YouTube and on X, where we continue to talk for a few more minutes and get that triple punch parlay piece sent out for you. But this is going to wrap us up on the radio side of things. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Thank you all so much for listening. JR, let's go punch those tickets.
Let's punch some tickets.
All right. Philly in the chat saying punch those ticket, fellas. Just appreciate you getting in on the chat, Philly. I know you couldn't be in here today with us, unfortunately, but we got those punches out there for you. And let's get that triple punch piece squared away right now, as this will be the only show before Friday. We won't be on tomorrow. We won't be on Thursday, but we will be back Friday, JR. So we can probably give out some punches for the Wednesday, Thursday slate as well. Or even daytime on Friday if we want, because there will be some matches, some college football on Friday before we're on the airwaves. So any punches that are technically happening before Friday at 5:30, we need to get those out as well. JR, Philly, if you want to send any of yours into the chat, feel free. We'll count those to your record if you want as well, if you note that they're official punches. But JR, we've got a lot of games ahead of us. I know that 26 minutes just simply isn't enough time for us to get all of the things that we want to get out there. When we are people who bet everything and cover everything and watch everything, it's not always possible for us to make that happen. So I still want to give us the chance to do so on the YouTube side of things and on the Twitter side of things. And JR, I mean, if there's anything you missed tonight, official punch-wise, before we go triple punch, go ahead and get that out. But I wanted to start with the triple punch piece for tonight.
Yeah, I haven't got a chance to research the next few days we've just been rolling day by day. As far as triple punch, definitely going Lakers plus 2.5. That's my favorite line of the night. They're at home, coming off of a win. I've had this thing with East Coast teams traveling to the West Coast, with time differences and things. I give the advantage to the West Coast team outside of the back-to-back within 2 or 3 days. But I do like our chances. I think Detroit is going to have a hard time matching up with Luka. And I think Braun is starting to wake up. So even without AR, I think we can get the job done as long as we limit Cade, which I'm sure that Rui will be assigned to him. I expect Jake LaRavia and team off the bench to have a bigger role. Trying to tweak things to get the ball rolling. He called out the super to him and Reeves, and not so much anybody saying that they need to be better defensively and just fight a little bit more, fight a little bit harder. And so I expect this game to be the perfect game to do that. I expect a big night out of Luka. I think Luka's going to shoot for 35-40 easily, just on the mismatch alone.
So you going Luka?
Hang on one second. What'd you say?
You want to take Luka or Lakers on the triple punch?
Taking the Lakers on the triple punch for the plus 2.5 as a additional prop. I like Luka for 30. He didn't get 30
I do as well.
Last game. Hold on, you're breaking up on me.
I was just saying I like Luka as well. No worries there. I like Luka on the prop tonight. I don't think they have anybody that can match him, guard him. I think you don't want to put Cade on Luka. I think that gives you issues, if I'm being honest. My triple punch piece. So JR is going Lakers plus 2.5. We're going to get Phillies here in just 1 second. He's going. So Philly picks is going Lauri Markkanen 25 plus points tonight for the Utah Jazz, going up against the Celtics at home. I like that. 25 plus at minus 162. I'm going Russell Westbrook at 15 plus on the road, visiting the Clippers. Revenge spot. I want to see what JR thinks of that. JR, we had, so I'm sure you saw in the chat, we've got Lauri Markkanen 25 plus points for the Philly picks. Yeah, we can hear you. Can you hear me? Don't know if JR can hear me, unfortunately. Can't hear me, unfortunately. JR, we'll just drop out. We'll get your picks sent in here. Lauri Markkanen, though, 25 plus points for Philly picks. Mr. Curtis Phillips for his triple punch piece. JR is going Lakers plus 2.5, and I'm rocking with the Russell Westbrook 15 plus points in a revenge game spot, going up against his old team, the Clippers, a team that he felt like he was going to probably try to build something with, and they moved on from him. So he likes kind of going crazy against his old teams. You maybe kind of can water that down into a different spot if you wanted to play it a little bit safer with the way that the Clippers offense has looked. Obviously, Kawhi coming off of 56 points. I believe you can get Russell Westbrook at over 13.5 at minus 154 if you didn't want to go with the 15. You wanted to rock with him at 14 or even 12.5 at minus 210 to play it safe for the sake of a triple punch. I like to take the even lines on these triple punches because I bet the entire parlay, and I just place a little small wager on it for the sake of the fun, right? And I'm going to be rocking with all three of those. Philly says we're cashing the punch today. I am on that, Philly. Let's cash this triple punch. And there it is. Really, I don't think there's much more we're going to add. I don't know how the connection's sounding for JR, but JR, we got the triple punch sent out. We didn't get anything sent out for the rest of the week. However, I want you guys to let us know in the comments what you think. We could probably do a show still. We don't have to necessarily be off triple punchers because the radio's off. We can go on YouTube. We can go on X. We can still give our picks out. Just let us know if you'd like us to do that or not. I think we'll probably do it anyway, even if you say you don't want us to do it. But I don't think there's too much we're going to add, JR. I don't know how your connection's feeling. We can hear you, but I don't think you're getting a clear feedback from us. So I think ultimately we're going to wrap things up. Philly, if you're in the chat listening still and there's anything you want to add, feel free, my man. But, but I think JR's struggling with his connection there on his commute. Working man, always doing something, always moving around. I think this is going to wrap us up, though. Appreciate you guys tuning in. We've got 3 viewers on the YouTube side of things. We've got about 20 of you all on the YouTube X side of things, it looked like. So, or 10, not 20. Georgia plus 500 for the Natty. I'm on it. I'm locking that in. I like Georgia to win it all. Kirby, he's due. He's ready. But this is going to wrap us up on the Ticket Punchers. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Thank you all so much for listening. We are going to catch you guys potentially tomorrow. Not sure what time. We're going to try to make it in the early afternoon if we can. Obviously, with it being New Year's Day, not going to try to do something in the evening time, but maybe like noon, 1, 2 o'clock tomorrow. We do a little stream. I'll be working Pacers in the daytime tomorrow from home, so maybe even during that if we can make that happen.